Hey everyone, I'm the Rev. Now on this channel I've featured Automobilista 2, Race Room, Assetto Corsa, Le Mans Ultimate, you name it, I've tried it. The one elephant in the room is iRacing. But now, thanks to the Steam summer sale, I was able to get 1 month of iRacing for about £3. So for that price I thought, why not? So in this video I'm going to give you my honest thoughts and opinions on what I thought after a couple of races on iRacing. Now just to point out, these are just my thoughts. Just because I decided to make a YouTube video on it doesn't make me right. Your opinion is just as valid as my opinion, but my opinion is just that, my own. Now my initial impressions were really good. I was greeted with this snazzy UI, I could very easily jump in to test drive the car, or I could just jump into the race. However, once on track the UI was absolutely hideous. So the first thing I did was jump onto SimHub and download some overlays, which in my opinion in 2025 I shouldn't have to do. But once they were installed we could get on with the most important part, which was jumping on track and seeing how the car felt. So we did a practice session before qualifying. The qualifying is what you're seeing now, and straight away could not have been more impressed. The feedback coming from the SimuCube 2 from iRacing was brilliant. Now I downloaded James Baldwin's SimuCube 2 profile, and as I say, the force feedback, the level of detail, the information from the car, what the rear of the car was doing, the weight transfer, feeling on the brakes, it was magnificent. It was without a shadow of a doubt the best Mazda MX-5 I've ever driven in sim racing. So handling wise I had no complaints whatsoever. In terms of the graphics I thought they were a bit meh. They looked alright, but in my opinion, and it's just that, I'd say Race Room looks better than this. Now I'll admit that I'm a bit of a graphics tart and I do like things that are very appealing to the eye. However, I do know that that's not the be all and end all. So as I say, looked a bit meh, but felt really, really good. And we managed with our first lap in qualifying, because I cocked up the second, to get pole position with a 1 minute and 5.660. So for our first race on iRacing, this could be a good start. Let's see how we get on. And as the lights go green, we are lightning away in the Mazda MX-5. Heading down to the first corner, looks like we're unchallenged from Daniel Novo behind. And as we head down into turn 1, we hit the brakes, we feel the weight transfer through the SimuCube 2. Really good force feedback on iRacing, I do have to say, really good feeling for the rear of the car. But we're definitely unchallenged, there's all sorts of chaos going on in the mirror behind us, but luckily we're not involved. But as for our race, well, we didn't really have one. We had this little moment on lap 5 where somebody had a big crash and he decided to try and take me out. Never mind pal, never mind, maybe next time. But after 11 laps the race was won, and that was it. First race, first win on iRacing. Now I often read about the poor driving standards sometimes on Le Mans Ultimate, and I'm told that iRacing is better. Unfortunately, from what I've witnessed myself, I wouldn't say that's the case. Lucas Schultz here in the white Mazda absolutely murders the black Mazda driver, and then for his troubles he makes contact with the wall. And however, he's not finished there. On his way back to the pits there's even more contact. Oh dear, this isn't looking good at all. Straight into the wall once more, but we do get a look at the damage model, which is fantastic. Oh, and I like this as well with the leaves being dragged back onto the track. So with our first race under our belt we moved on to the BMW M2, another rookie car. For this race we'd managed to qualify in 4th, however my qualifying laps I wouldn't say they were particularly sparkling. Now I found this BMW M2 for a rookie car to be quite a handful, to be honest with you. Loads of power sent to the rear wheels, front engined, it was great fun. Now the start, that was relatively clean. Again there was a few little issues behind, but nothing for us. We managed to consolidate 4th place. 3rd and 2nd there going side by side. Was that going to give me a bit of a sniff on the power up the hill? Maybe if I hadn't clattered that curb, but unfortunately in doing that I didn't quite get the run that I was looking for. Now this was the chicane that I kept on ballsing up. 2nd gear, clatter that curb, that was the problem, I was clattering the sausage curbs. I felt like if I could just get that chicane right I might have enough pace to overtake 3rd place and there could be a podium on in this race. However, 3rd place, he was not going to give that position up, not easily, that's for sure. I got my first ever warning there as I explored the track limits, so we'll make sure that we don't make that mistake again. Back end of the M2 there, just sliding, managed to catch it, great feeling. All you iRacers out there, I can 100% understand why you play it. The feeling is brilliant, the force feedback is awesome, it really, really is. Wide there from third place, can I sneak up the inside? Not this time, but we'll try and keep putting him under pressure. Again, just the feeling of what the back of the car's doing with the weight transfer as you touch the brake pedal, it's just really, really good. It feels fantastic. Oh, I had to get out the throttle there or I was going to go into the back of him. Start as we mean to go on, try to race clean without contact, that was the goal. Once again, absolutely clatter the sausage curb. This Lime Rock Park circuit didn't really seem to have that many opportunities to overtake, or at least it was one where the defending car could defend quite easily if they put their car in the right place, which at the moment Faisal was doing. Chris Stable's up there in the chat with a dude, what the hell, so that tells me that not everything is going to plan behind us, but we're not involved in that, but I will have a look at the replay at the end of this race. So now into my second race. What was I thinking? What were my thoughts on iRacing in general? I have to say that I could understand why people play it. It feels really good. The force feedback is great and it was dead easy to jump into these races online, little 12-minute races. The ease to pick up and play was definitely there, so I could fully understand why people play it. Got a decent run there now out to this right-hander. I'm going to get tucked up under the wing of that M2. However, we're not going to be able to get through in the chicane. That would be a stupid move, so we're not going to try that. Still clattering that curb, Rev. Nice one. You will learn one of these days. But yeah, a couple of races in, and I was definitely enjoying myself. I think I enjoyed this BMW more than the Mazda simply just because it was a more powerful car. I own a BMW in real life, and it's a powerful one, so at the rear, if you've not got the traction control on, it's a handful. And this BMW M2, this was a handful as well. So in terms of realism, it seemed real enough to me. In terms of the content that you get with your subscription, I would say for me, it's a bit of a mixed bag. There's tracks there that I'm never going to use, there's cars that I'm never going to drive. I'm not into dirt racing in any way, shape or form, so I'm never going to try those. I'm not into NASCAR, so I'm never going to try them. So it's a little bit short on content that I would use. Oulton Park's in there though, which is obviously a bonus, so you get Oulton Park within the subscription, which is great. Oh, Faisal there's just touched the curb, that's given me a bit of a run. Is this going to be the moment now that I can get this move done? I'm not going to be close enough, far enough alongside, so we get back onto the racing line and try and get a better drive through the chicane. I managed to miss 2 of the 3 sausages, which is better than the lap before. So we're making tiny improvements all the time. But back to the content, the simple fact of the matter is, with what you get free within the subscription, I would always have to buy more. So I'm going to have to buy cars and I'm going to have to buy tracks, simply because the content that you get within the subscription, that's not going to sustain me in the long term, because I'm not that interested in the cars that they give you. So buying cars and buying tracks, that's probably going to be the issue for me. Now you may say, well, you've bought a load of the DLC for Le Mans Ultimate. Yeah, and that's right, I did do. I got the season pass, and within that season pass, which cost £32, I got 4 tracks and 11 cars. If I wanted to buy 4 tracks and 11 cars in iRacing, it's going to cost me a damn sight more than £32. Oh, I nearly lost the rear then, nearly lost the rear, just managed to catch it. As I say, the game feels great, I can't stress that enough. I'm sure I'm just repeating myself at that point. But it does, it feels really good. But yeah, the content that I've bought for LMU, I can use that content offline. I don't need a Race Control Pro subscription to use it, I can use it without one. I can participate in all the daily races with just what I've purchased in terms of content. And for me, I'd say I've got more than my money's worth out of Le Mans Ultimate at this point. Having only driven these 2 cars in iRacing, the Mazda MX-5 and the BMW M2 CS, I am sure, in fact I'm certain, that I would enjoy those other cars if I tried them. I'm sure that I would enjoy the iRacing GT3s or the hypercars. Just after driving these 2 cars, I can tell you that I know they'll be brilliant, but the simple fact of the matter for me is that I can get the same experience somewhere else without a subscription. That's the main hurdle for me. Don't get me wrong, if this channel blew up and I ended up with 50,000 subscribers and there was YouTube advertising revenue coming in like I was Scrooge McDuck, then I wouldn't have any issue whatsoever, I would imagine, in paying that monthly subscription and buying content. This could be the opportunity. Rev, nearly in the back of him, very, very nearly in the back of him, but we managed to not make contact with him. However, he's a little bit all over the road. I did tell you that Faisal does not want to give this position up. He's going to try and hold on to that no matter the cost. And I don't understand that either. Does he not want outer rookies? I mean, why would you want to make contact with somebody? But that's human beings for you. But yeah, back to me point. If the channel began to pay for itself, then I'd have no issue whatsoever with buying the content. But unfortunately, it's coming out of my wage at this moment in time. Oh, Faisal's deep. He's deep on the brakes. He's going to run wide. He certainly does. He's onto the grass. The pressure's told. And we managed to get past him. Thank God. Thankfully past Faisal. 102.972, that's the fastest lap for the leader. Now that we've got some clean air in front of us and we're not getting held up by Faisal, what could we do? Well, as we round the final corner, on lap 12 of 12, I'd managed to catch up to second and first. However, with time running out, I did the fastest lap of the race with a 1:02.707. Had I qualified a bit better, who knows where we could have finished. But how did the race go behind us? Was it clean?
Clean as a whistle, sharp as a thistle, best in all Westminster, yeah.
Well, not quite. There was definitely an incident or two, this being the biggest. On the exit to the corner, he's lost the rear, manages to catch it, but then just heads straight back to the racing line. And unfortunately that ruins the race for both of them. Oh, and whilst I'm at it, I'll just drive the wrong way down the track to enter the pits. So I'd say the driving standards look as good on iRacing as they can possibly be when there's other human beings involved. So there you go, the Rev went iRacing. Did I enjoy it? Yes, 100%. Feels fantastic. Really enjoyed the racing. Really enjoyed how easy it was to just jump into a session and get involved. Unfortunately, the pricing model, I just can't justify that at this moment in time. As I say, if the channel starts to pay for itself, that might be a different matter. Hopefully, I've not upset any of you iRacers that are out there, as I can fully understand why you race it and why you play it. As I say, just as we stand at this moment, it's not something that I would kick Le Mans Ultimate out of bed for. If you like what I do on this channel, please hit that like and subscribe button, as it would help me grow. As always, I've been the Reverend. Thank you very much for watching.